This is a guided practice video. The topic is two-step equations, and these are easier problems. Let's get started. Here's our first problem. 3x plus 1 equals 10. You need to find out what x equals. Go ahead and hit pause if you need more time. Alright, let's get started. My goal is to get x alone. There are two things with my x. I have multiply by 3 and add 1. I always move the easiest thing first. In other words, when I have my order of operations, I start from the bottom and work my way up to get rid of the least complicated thing before I get to the most complicated thing. So, out of times 3 or plus 1, which is least complicated? Well, it looks like plus 1 is. So I'm going to go ahead and move my plus 1 to the other side. When I move plus 1 to the other side, it becomes its inverse, which is minus 1. What am I left over with? I have 3x equals 10 minus 1. 10 minus 1 is 9. Well, from here, it's a one-step equation. Most of you have already seen the answer in your head. I take my multiply by 3, that goes to the other side, and it becomes divide by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3, and I have x alone on the other side. X equals 3 is my answer. Here's the next problem. X divided by 2 minus 1 equals 7. Go ahead and hit pause if you need more time. Alright, let's get started. Again, I want x equals, and I'm going to follow the order of operations, but this time in reverse, because I'm undoing operations. So I have two operations going on. I've got divide and subtract. When I go this direction, which comes first? Subtract comes first. So I'm going to move my subtraction. That's the first operation I'm going to get rid of by using the inverse. When I move subtract 1 to the other side, it becomes its inverse, which is plus 1. I'm left with x divided by 2 on the left side equals 7 plus 1. Well, 7 plus 1 is 8. Now I need to get rid of my divide by 2. When I move divide by 2 to the other side, it becomes its inverse. The inverse of divide is multiply. So divide by 2 becomes multiply by 2. Left over on the left side is x. Then I have equals 8 times 2. Well, 8 times 2 is 16. And that's the answer. Here's our next problem. 3x minus 7 equals 8. Go ahead and hit pause if you need more time. Alright, I am following order of operations in reverse because I am undoing operations. I've got multiply and I've got subtract. When I follow the order of operations in reverse, I see that subtract is the first operation I get rid of. So I'm going to take my subtract 7 and I'm going to change it to its inverse on the other side. That leaves me with 3x equals, and then 8 plus 7. 8 plus 7 is 15. Now I'm going to take multiply by 3 and change it to its inverse, which is divide by 3. I'm left with x on the left side equals 15 divided by 3, which is 5. And that's the answer. Here's our next problem. X divided by 4 minus 3 equals 9. Go ahead and hit pause if you need more time. Again, I am following order of operations. but this time I'm going to follow it in reverse and get rid of the simplest thing first. I've got divide and I've got subtract. Which is the simplest? Subtract. Subtract 3 goes to the other side, it becomes its inverse. The inverse of subtract 3 is plus 3. Subtract 3 is gone. I have x divided by 4 equals 9 plus 3. 9 plus 3 is 12. Now let me point out a very common mistake. Most people, when they see this problem, will try to skip ahead and do the problem in their mind. And what they'll say is x divided by 4 equals 12 is the same thing as x equals 12 divided by 4, and they'll say x equals 3. That is not correct. They made a mistake. You'll see what the mistake is in just a minute. It's important that you don't get ahead of yourself. Take your time, show your work, do not do the problems in your head, especially at this point while you're still learning it. Let's go through and you'll see the difference. This problem says x divided by 4 equals 12. Well, I'm going to take my divide by 4 and move it to the other side so I get x alone. When I move divide by 4, it becomes its inverse, which is times 4. I'm left with x equals on the other side, but now I have 12 times 4, and 12 times 4 is 48. And that's the answer. Here's our last problem. 2x minus 1/2 equals 3 1/2. Go ahead and hit pause if you need more time. Alright, well, let's get started. First of all, let's not be scared of those fractions. Second, let's follow the order of operations in reverse to undo the operations surrounding x. I've got two operations. I've got multiply and subtract. It looks like subtract is the first one I'm going to get rid of. So I'm going to pick up my minus 1/2, move it to the other side, and it becomes plus 1/2. And that's gone. Left over on the left side is 2x. Then I have equals. And now I have 3 1/2 plus half. Well, 3 1/2 is 3 plus 1/2. And then I've got my plus 1/2 from right here. Well, now let's just break that down. 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1. 3 plus 1 is all that says. And that's something we can do. That's 4. 2x equals 4. Now, am I done? No, I need to have x equals, not 2x equals. So I need to get rid of that 2. That 2 is being multiplied on the left side. So it goes to the right side and becomes divide. It becomes its inverse operation. Instead of multiplying on the left side, I'm going to divide on the right side. I have x equals 4 divided by 2, which is 2. And that's my answer. Well, that's the end of this video. If you want more challenging problems, or if you just need more practice, there's another video you can look at. It's called Two-Step Equations, Harder Problems. Good luck.